It's bright and early 10 a.m.-ish my time, so this is going to be pretty awful, I'm going to be honest. But this is, of course, an NBFL playoff game between the Atlatl Flechettes, coached by Nelfine, the Lizardmen in red on the left, versus the Los Angeles Glams, elves in blue, coached by Stim on my right. This is a divisional round playoff game in the NFC conference. The winner of this game will go on to face the winner of last night's game, which, if you were watching, turned out to be the Green Banana Grabbers, despite not scoring on their offensive drive, despite facing a wizard in the second half, despite the odds of not having two gorillas for defense. Grue and the apes did what they had to do and advanced to the championship game. So, in this battle, we've got Lizardmen and High Elves. Some people think it's an elf favored matchup. Some people like it as from the Lizard point of view. It's a tough matchup for both sides for sure. There's things you have to worry about that you don't enjoy when you're Lizards. You've got a team that is pretty damn fast. You've got the movement 8 catchers. You've got movement 7 blitzers. They can get to your skinks easier than other teams can. They shouldn't, in theory, be able to block you very well, especially when you have a team built like Atlatl, who's just incredibly well built this season. You've got block, guard, mighty blows, stand firm, a little bit of tackle almost everywhere across the board. Juggernaut, a rare skill you see, but one that Bloke Bottles, is that an L? No, 2 bottles. Is using to push away Matt Bryant on this blitz. There could be a foul coming here. Stim not one to be afraid of throwing a boot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 GFI. Not quite the angle he'd like with Malcolm Tree Hugger Pridgeon in the middle. And it doesn't look like we're getting a foul this turn. Stim with the ball in the hands of... Oh, this is not the catcher I expected. Where's our... Where... Did he lose the other catcher? There was a movement 9, block, sure hands, catcher kind of guy, but doesn't appear he's on the team anymore. Unless he's missing. He's missing, that's what it is. Jefferson, hurt in the previous playoff game, I imagine. If I recall, Los Angeles faced Dash and Destroy in the wildcard game. Didn't get to cover that one, unfortunately. Early blitz here by John Abraham. Atlatl, it should be mentioned, has been very, very devastating this season in the injury department, and indeed their first blitz results in a KO on what is a very good blitzer. Good enough to warrant an early apothecary, keep him on the field. Inducements for Stim, he's got 2 kegs and a wizard. Wizard, of course, can be very good against lizards. You've got Fireball, which can be devastating against AV7 Stunty, can knock down a very tough Saurus. And of course, there's the old Zap, which works very well against a Strength 2 skink, such as Buddha Chris, the legendary Movement 9, Agility 5, minus AV, block, sidestep, sure feet skink. Plays all of 8 turns a game at most. Probably rare to see him out on defense. I don't watch all of Nelfine's games, but he's out there for now. Probably an early target. We've got Pale Dale up top, the Mighty Blow tackle dodge guard blitzer. You've got the other blitzer at the bottom, guard, leap, mighty blow, stand firm, tackle. You've got some solid linos, block guard, juggernaut wrestle, block kick tackle, block sidestep, strength 4 thrower. Very good catcher here and easy. But not a lot else. This is certainly not the most talented Los Angeles roster that Stim's had on paper, but certainly one that's no less effective. Stim taking the ball north, making a cage, it looks like. Strength 4 thrower going to be very valuable here, but going for a skink with a GFI. Just a stun though, but sets himself up in position to potentially block these Sori. Except that one's strength 5 with guard. The one below him, strength 4 with guard, and a bunch of other skills. So this is not a team that you can outblock very easily, and that's a bit of a change for Atlatl. Not only are they healthy across the board, they've got a lot of stand firm this season, which Nelfin is finally coming around on. We've harped on this point for quite a while. Using a reroll there to prevent the turnover on the boat down. This is one thing that you can get Stim in trouble with. He does like to try to outblock his opponents, even as high elves. It doesn't seem like it's their forte, but if you're very good at positioning and can constantly outblock your opponents and put them in unfavorable positions to lead to more good blocks for yourself, even a high elf team can perhaps thwart the opponents and knock a bunch of them out or worse. And so for all that movement and blustering and blocking, there's a stunned skink, a knockdown Saurus, and that's about it. He just stands right back up. You get a block here, you get a blitz somewhere else. You can block Deshaun Jackson over here, blitz him if you desire. Things looking pretty solid for the Lizards already. Going for a blitz on the strength 4 thrower, using Frenzy to take him down. Perhaps we secure our northern flank if we're Nelfin. Looks like he's only running 3 rerolls again, unless he used one last turn when I wasn't paying attention. Because we've also harped on him about only running 3 rerolls, because Nelfin has had no shortage of success in the regular season, where running 3 rerolls may not get you in that much trouble, but in the playoffs where A, obviously it's win or go home, and B, you have overtime where your rerolls from the second half carry into overtime, you kind of need more than 3 in most cases. Oh, going for an aggressive ball tag here with our diving tackle skink. I'm not sure that gets you a whole lot except for an injured or surfed skink. Maybe both. Maybe surfed and injured. We do set up a 2-die here on Deshaun. Knock him down. Not bad, not bad. Budacris out of harm's way in theory. High Elves really trapped up here against a strength 5 guard, a strength 6 Croxagore. Get your frenzy, stand firm. I'm assuming we're taking our lineman here, blitzing the skink off, but if we could, or if we wanted to, we could just block and then blitz and surf him, but we're just gonna get him off the ball the old-fashioned way. And now we're in a little bit of a predicament as Stim. A lot of our team's tied up. We don't have any good blocks. Could start dodging away, but Stim doesn't go dodge heavy like you would expect on Elven teams. A lot of these Linos are, you know, young rookies, so they don't have dodged yet. Catchers usually get it, as blitzers usually get it, but Linos are more 1 to 2 skill guys who are just there to be cannon fodder and block things, I guess. Morning dash. Another fellow Texan, so he knows how damn early this game is. Still don't think it's as early as there's a playoff game several seasons ago at this point between Stim and Freshman. And Freshman, if I recall, is he in Europe? Could be. Either way, that game was at like 8 or 7 Central or something ridiculous. Alright. Stim using a reroll, set up a 2-die. Ball is kind of safe. It doesn't look like it at first glance, but you've got enough tackle zones here to make it tough to get to him. Gotta be careful with this lino at the bottom. Last turn you used him to mark a skink, and you're hoping for either that's where Nelfing uses his blitz, or perhaps he takes that 2-die with the skink like he did, but fails it and has to burn a reroll. Not that he has to use the reroll. But Deshaun is niggled already, so he would be relatively easy to get off the field. And then Pale Dale, despite his minus agility and the prehensile tail marking him, gets away from the scrum. Nelfing apparently talking to the crowd about his woeful skink dodges. And now this is where you have to be careful as the lizard coach. You could try to press in and build some sort of wall, but you don't want to spread yourself too thin. You don't want to leave that guy downfield for an easy score, but you also don't want to isolate your Sorai and have them be essentially doing nothing but chasing elves for several turns. I think we need to go help this poor William Moore at the bottom here. I mean, you've got 2 Sorai up here. You've got Malcolm in the middle, which is not a joke I intended to make. That's an old show that I don't think I ever really watched. But if we're not blitzing with Mr. Lear, old Duke Saurus, who became a Saurus for Atlatl, yep, I'm going for Deshaun, and not getting a knockdown. Also, I think I would have taken all 3 skinks and given Matt Bryant assists, because that's 4, 5, 6, 7. That would have been a 3-die on Deshaun and a pretty good chance of knocking him down. Stim and Nelfing discussing lizard strategy mid-game. Interesting placement of Budacris there, because if Mr. Pigeon decides to bonehead, he could have taken a shot at the AV6 little bastard. Also, there is a sneaky play here if he wants. James Woodard is in leap distance of Budacris. If you leap behind him, you could smack him on a 2-die with Mighty Blow Tackle. That is an AV6 stunty skink, so pretty decent chance of getting him off the field, perhaps for quite some time. It may be early, but at least we're getting some humor along with the game. But Stim's in a less than ideal position here. We'll see if he finds a way to unlock this lizard defense that's got him in a tough position. Going for a long distance GFI blitz on a skink. And does knock him out. That is the old adage, right? Just blitz a skink every turn if you're facing lizards, and eventually you'll find your way to victory. Stim never one to shy away from doing GFIs. It's already done 3 this turn. 2 for that blitz, 1 for that positioning. It's trying to get a block on the Saurus, and does so, but staying firm. Coming in strong, as it always does. Nelphine, wink wink. Now he gets to move a bunch of boys around. GFI again for another block. Staying firm still being useful. But now the lizards go from position of strength to, well, this dodge fail doesn't help things. Apparently it's even earlier where Wintergreen is, which I'm guessing is the west coast. So lizards, though, went from a position where everything looked like it was locked up. The only elf in scoring position was tagged. And now that all of a sudden they got the ball partway downfield, it would be difficult for a Saurus to hit it at first glance. We do have break tackle, though. If we get a good block on Michael Bonkers, we might be able to get Mr. Lear onto the ball. We are jealous of these Sauri. They're excellent. Very good knockout, helped by the niggling injury and body blow. But we still have to find a way to stop Mr. Easy, who is in scoring range. Get a block here. Nelphine looking to perhaps push Mr. Lear, but sidestep, of course. Looks like Wog joining in from wherever he is. Dutch joining in for his drive to work. Please only be listening. Don't try to watch while driving to work. Another injury. This time Torfy taking out Michael Bonkers. Blitz here on Pale Dale. Knocks him out too. And we do tag the ball with tackle. But will that be enough? Elves flying off the field left and right. Budacris bravely going down here for a defensive effort. Can we get another removal? Is John Abraham going to frenzy tiring McGlee? No, he's going to go for Bloke and injure Bloke Bottles. He's out too. Malcolm Pridgeon goes for a block too and stuns an elf. Man, this is a tough turn for the elves, but perhaps Stim, won't let that sacrifice be in vain. If Mr. Philander Peasy Easy can find a way to score here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't go backwards. He's going for a dodge. He's going to blitz Budacris, although he has sidestep. But I think that's our play. 2-die with block tackle. Budacris standing strong. Do we burn the reroll? I think we have to. Because if he doesn't use the reroll, I'm like, but what's... Wog busy at work, Dutch going to work, Wintergreen early in his day, and I work late, so I begrudgingly set alarms for 9:24, 9:34. But now I'm not sure what Stim can do here, unless he just tries to run as far north as possible. Still got to make this 2+ dodge. And then another 2+ dodge. Although he should have dodge for the second roll. But yeah, he's got to run north and try to outpace the lizards. Oh. Fails the last GFI, but uses reroll, so now Mr. Easy is on the goal line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got a skink in range with diving tackle. He can get another in range with a GFI, and then perhaps Buddha Chris can come over and try to 2-die Mr. Easy. Or do you just tag him as much as you can and hope diving tackle works? We do get our GFI. If we get Buddha Chris over there as well, he can't 1-die or 2-die any of the skinks. Granted, Stim wouldn't be opposed to negative 2-dying the diving tackle in theory. Ooh, double skull there. But uses a reroll to get out of it, so I don't think we're getting... Well, we just used our blitz, so we're not getting a Buddha Chris blitz, but we're getting him to tag Easy as well. So 3 skinks, 1 catcher. That's our Blood Bowl situation. That's not the name of a weird video you'd be watching on your own time. Oh. Interesting. Buddha Chris going for the aggressive dodge behind the catcher, so now there is nothing between Buddha Chris and a legion of fans except for that wonderful sidestep skill. So, and now we're double GFIing with the Saurus, and we get him there too. So now we've got, let me paint a war picture for you. We've got a high elf catcher with the ball on column 1, mere inches away from scoring. There are 2 skinks to his right, 1 with diving tackle in the middle. There is a skink on his left, Buddha Chris with sidestep. We try to block Buddha Chris, and we almost skull, but instead we reroll into double pushes, follow up into the end zone. But man, 2 skinks, a Saurus, and another skink all surrounding the catcher, and the negative 2-die was the way to go. But Stim is burning through most of his rerolls. He's down to 1 for the half. It is turn 5 for the Lizards. We've got 3 turns to score, which is relatively easy when you have someone like Buddha Chris. The 2 kegs do help the KOs come back, but the 2 badly hurts obviously kind of stuck there. So yeah, basically, as Dash points out in the game chat, the options were a 5+ dodge against tackle and diving tackle, some potential negative 2-die backwards and then dodging around, or trying to negative 2-die and hope for a follow-up into Buddha Chris. And that was the play, and it worked. So, Maybe Nelphine looks back and wishes Budacris was not in that spot? It's hard to say. He had no guarantee of getting the tackle there at the time. And perhaps he could have been baiting the diving tackle previously if Stim had accidentally used it and diving tackled Budacris as he tried to dodge through tackle zones. You lose the ball. It could scatter into the crowd and go somewhere where Stim couldn't get to it. So, either way, we have a 0-1 game. There are 11 elves, only 1 on the bench at this point. 11 lizards, 2 on the bench, with 1 skink KO'd still. Log saying his reception in the cooler at work is not great, which is pretty standard. Any kind of cooler, freezer is always giving people problems for reception for calls or cell phone service or text or whatever. Huge pitch invasion all of a sudden. We've got 4 lizards down and 2 elves down. Budacris not being one of them, though. Yes, he is. He's not in the back. Roddy White is. Interesting. Now this could be interesting. Nelphine's blocks on the line of scrimmage have gotten stuns on both linos, so now there are 4 elves who'll be unable to move. Malcolm Pridgeon almost creates a turnover on a 3-die with 2 skulls, but gets a POW for his 3rd block. So now Nelphine's got to be careful, because if you don't send enough players back for the ball, Roddy White could be turned into a frog, perhaps, or fireballed, and then there's nothing back there to prevent Stim from taking his elves and flooding the backfield, getting the ball, and just taking a 2-0 lead when he has really no right to be leading in this game. I mean, no right is not exactly fair. It's not that he's been outplayed or anything, but Nelphine is in a favorable position. He's been getting some injuries. Stim's been burning rerolls. Nelphine does burn a reroll on the pickup as Roddy White snakes it. And then we don't use the wizard? What? There's literally... Wow. I am very surprised we didn't get a wizard there. We could zap or even fireball Roddy White. Send our catchers and other elves around into the backfield down here, and there'd be literally nothing Nelphine can do. Interesting. Maybe he plans to do it at the end of the turn? Bold double GFI early in his turn for Stim gets Mr. Easy with diving tackle on 2 prone skinks. Gets a lino behind the 2 prone Sorai. Dodges through a tackle zone to 2-die the skink up top, who's in scoring range technically on column 10. Then gets him knocked out. Not bad. Things not looking great for the lizards all of a sudden. I mean, the 4 players done pitch invasion certainly didn't help things at all. I think Nelphine could have been a little more conservative in his offensive setup. Obviously no one plans for a pitch invasion, but it feels like he didn't have enough of his Sorai in the back in case of a blitz or a pitch invasion or something. Basically, as much as you'd like to score to end this half and tie it up 1-1, you cannot let the elves score. Wow. Stim going for a rookie catcher coming around the bottom, fouling Buddha Chris and failing, getting caught and getting banned from the game. And still no wizard. Interesting. But yeah, I would have preferred if I was Nelfine to have a few Sorai back to protect the ball in case of shit happening. Because if you're down 0-2, the odds of you winning this game are not great. If you don't score here and you're down 0-1, go into the second half, you're not thrilled about it, but you have overtime. This isn't a regular season game where getting the 1-1, is likely or your best outcome. Dash says, what a good foul with a terrible result. See, that's the opposite of how I see most fouls. I see most fouls as terrible plays with good results. But that's the difference between you and I, perhaps. So we'll see what Nelfine does, though, with his chance. He's got 2 turns to score. He's got to find a way to get Buddha Chris in range, which means he'll likely have to blitz off the diving tackle here. But he's also got to prevent, this leaping Mighty Blow tackle from getting to the ball. He's also got to prevent the wizard. And if we don't take down Mr. Easy there, which we don't, now Buddha Chris is still marked by diving tackle, which is not a huge deal with dodge and agility 5 in Stunty. Oh my god, he's got a Saurus in scoring range. I love it. But Mr. Easy is also in scoring range himself, going the other direction. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Buddha Chris can be in range from several different places. Diving tackle does work. We'll see if the dodge reroll works. It doesn't. Buddha Chris hurts himself. Badly hurts himself, technically, and he is out for the game. But that also leaves Mr. Easy on the ground, out of scoring range. So, at this point, looks like all that's left for Stim to do is to guard this source. And there probably won't be a score this half. Mr. Easy going for a blitz on Roddy White. Gets the POW. Agility 4 Skink is merely knocked down. That does put diving tackle on the ball, though. Granted, with 0 rerolls and just a Saurus in scoring range, it was a little unlikely that we were going to get a lizard touchdown, but Ryan Fitz would still try it, 100%. We're getting a foul action from this Lino here onto the Skink, it looks like. And he is hurt as well. Missed next game. Interesting that Nelfine doesn't apothecary that. He doesn't have any... Well, he could have an agility Skink left. Mr. Asante Samuel is agility 4, but minus AV. Still KO'd. We'll see if he comes back here. Nelfine's got turn 8 to blitz an elf, and that's about it. But he is running low on players as well. There are 3 elves out, 1 banned, 2 badly hurt. There's also a KO with 1 in reserve. Lizards have 1 miss next game, 1 badly hurt, 2 knocked out. We get a blitz on Mr. Easy. Who is not injured. And that's probably going to be it for the first half. Yep, Dash, absolutely right. Says with bad KO rolls, he's only going to have 3 rookie skinks against a wizard in the second half. We're going for a pass action with the Saurus. It did not work. It was a double GFI pickup, long bomb pass action with the Saurus. Was apparently our last ditch play there, but there was no real risk, I guess, outside of the Saurus tripping and killing himself, I suppose, but did not happen. So, second half, we've got 0-1 score in favor of the Glams. They've got 11 players, and 11 players only for the rest of the game at most. Both KOs do come back for the Lizards, so you do have 1 Agility 4 skink, granted minus AV. Bunch of rookie skinks, all the Sorai, the Mega Croxagore, and Nelphine and the boys going into a wizard. Only 3 rerolls to start the second half. Stim up to 5, because that's what he rosters. Also has 2 kegs still, so I don't know. Nelphine looked to be in a great spot early around turn 3, turn 4, and then things have slowly gone the way of the High Elves, as Stim usually finds a way to do. So for Nelphine, we've got to be very careful this half. We've got to control the board. We've got to worry about the wizard. We've got to hurt as many elves as possible. And we've got to score on turn 8 and then prevent any sort of one-turn attempt. There's a dodge catcher. There's our blodge sidestep catcher up top. And that's it for the extra movement.
Hello, Mr. Convict.
Hey, it's Astaflix. Welcome. It is probably still relatively early where you are too, but
yeah, it's before noon.
Yeah, it's awful, but we're glad to have you regardless.
So, I didn't actually know this game was going on. The first thing I see when I join is that Nelphine still has his apothecary, and his legend skink is badly hurt.
I don't mind not using it on the Legend Skink. I was very surprised he didn't use it on the Miss Next Game Agility 4 Skink. But holding on to it for whatever reason, we get the...
Holding on to it for next game.
Yeah, holding on to it for next game. Short kickoff goes to a Saurus on the last scrimmage, bounces to the other side, so Agility 4 Skink won't have to worry about the pickup in theory. I'd almost be tempted to give it to a Saurus here. There is no, like, wrestle, strip ball, leaping sexy elf on the high elf roster. You don't have to worry about the zap. Obviously still worry about fireball, but you can be worried about fireball either way, so...
If he puts it on a Saurus, I think he's just, like, inting.
Well, he doesn't. He puts it in the hands of a rookie skink, which is interesting. I suppose you keep him with the ball, keep the agility 4 back in case of fireball fumble.
Yeah, I mean, I would be less scared of fireball than of zap, because zap's 2+, fireball's 4+.
Right.
So this might look small, but it's a big thing. Stim lost 0 of his guys on the LOS.
It's early, though.
Yeah, but that does matter a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Nelphine's going to need as many elves removed as possible.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even if he somehow manages to stall for a turn and score, Stim does have a threat, right?
The 2 one-turners? Yeah. I mean, they're not one-turners, but they're still movement 8 dodge elves, 1 with sidestep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nelphine does have, like, 1 billion stand frame.
It's true. He does have a lot of stand frame on this team, finally.
But yeah, it's basically a, you know, you gotta score on turn 8. Otherwise, the elves really, you know, might be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of putting the Croxagore there?
I would have liked him to be marking those 3 line of scrimmage linos. I also would have liked to
Agreed.
knock out or worse some of those linos on those blocks, but you can't always do that.
The only thing I'm kind of afraid about is right now. Uh, Also, this is confusing because if Stim so wills it, he has a free, 3-up dodge. Sorry, 2-up. Oh, that's a 3-up in. Whoa.
What are you looking at?
So between the two Saurus, right next to the Croxigal, right, there's a little hole.
Yeah, you could dodge there and go blitz Mr. Kelvin, I
Ben
guess.
Hartsock. It's a 3-up dodge, right? It's a 3-up dodge for a 2D block, which is pretty good because you're
Wait,
high elves.
wait. Okay, so we're dodging through Mr. William Moore and John Abraham, that gap there, and then we're blitzing Kelvin?
No, no, no. We're blitzing the ball
Wait, who are we with who?
with a 2-do Tosswell. So it's 2-up and then 3-up for a 2-die on the ball, right?
I mean, technically, yeah. I don't really love dodging into
Sorry, it's a
tackle
4-up
bombs like that.
technically,
Yeah, I
but
was
who
gonna say I'm
cares?
not seeing a 3+ dodge here, so it's a 4. I mean, it's not bad, but you do have a leap, mighty blow, stand firm, tackle if you want to take it, although double guard in the front.
Yeah.
So
And I would rather keep that guy back because I think that guy's going to be scary later on.
I think we just let this go and
Yeah.
eat some blocks.
I mean, letting it go is very scary. I would not have started the turn with this. I would have moved.
I
Yeah,
mean, there's not a
I,
lot of
I
other players to
understand.
move, but
The reason I think why you don't want to let it go is if you do, the lizards can just really move into a dominated position this turn. Like you block down the catcher, right?
yep,
You send your source forward, you kind of box the high elves in.
yep. And then you just Astaflix them with your Norse and overwhelm them with your Frenzy and your 2 dies and your Mighty Blow
I
and all
didn't
this
make the
stuff.
playoffs this season.
Well, and
The,
Helvin Dodges won't be here for the rest of the game. He injures himself on the failed dodge. Old prehensile tail getting
yeah,
him.
that's a big fail dodge.
And it is
Tim
another
was right.
catcher out of the game, so less 1-turn
I
chances.
mean,
Not that
sure.
there's not all
That
the stand
catcher's pretty
firm.
bad, but it's still a catcher.
It's still movement 8, strength 3, agility 4, dodge with catch.
I mean, I still would have tried to go on the ball because that's how I play, and I think a 2-up, 4-up is big enough that if it works and it scatters into a good position, you might just win the game right then and there.
Yeah, you're not completely wrong.
Exactly.
And that's the thing about life, You don't have to be right all the time, just don't be completely wrong all the time. Also, well, no, the ball can't scatter into the crowd just off of a wizard, but I don't love moving it here. Who are we blitzing this turn? We don't have any AV7 targets. We could blitz 2-2, who's perhaps our third or second biggest warrior left. He's strength 4. Yep, that's what we're going for. Now we can envelop these line of scrimmage high elves if we want.
Yeah.
Not quite, so there's still some dodges available, but Stem working with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elves. He's got 4 rerolls, he's got a bribe, he's got a wizard. Mr. Easy running towards the end zone. Does a 1-die blitz onto a skink.
I'm somewhat confused by
I mean,
Stim's play.
there's not any good option here at this point. Like, all your players are either tied up or on the ground or both.
I mean, just absolutely horrible dice. You know, you roll a 1, you use a reroll, then you fell a 1 in 9 dodge to end your turn and injure one of your guys.
It wasn't 1 in 9. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
3+ with dodge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's one thing I'm bad at. It's math.
Yeah.
Oh, another failed dodge.
Another failed
dodge. That one you have to let go, yeah.
But Stim got the dice he needed in the first half to score. You may have missed his scenario there.
I did not see any of the first half.
That's fine. That's why we have these video replays.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say is, if it's Stim versus Nelphine in regular season, then all bets are off. But since it's the playoffs...
We're betting on Nelphine, of course.
Yeah, of course. The only man with a more proven track record than me.
Yes. I'm a little disappointed that we couldn't get at least a push on Deshaun Jackson there by William Moore, because that would have been 100% our surf target with John Abraham, but...
Okay, this is gonna sound insane, but...
Oh, no.
I don't understand why Nelphine tried to punch that guy.
Because if you push him and then Frenzy Blitz him and he's niggled already and you push him into the crowd, there's like a 99% chance he gets, like, dead.
Yeah, but then again, I think moving up in the right now is more important than that. Like, there's targets that are much scarier than a niggled block guard Lino. Because I think the only way you really fail to do anything this, half is Nelphine using his mad, like, dicing skills to, like, pop the ball and score. So I'd be more scared of, like, the catcher. Oh, that's really bad.
Big hit there from the Croc Sagor. The Leap Mighty Blow guard stand firm tackle minus MA Blitzer is out. He is badly hurt.
He is running out of elves.
He is running out of elves.
Oh, this is weird. I think you just... I mean, I would. I'd just fireball the 3 skinks, because if you get 1 down, then you have a chance.
Maybe, but I think you're so far away that there's just not a good recovery option.
I mean, it is hitting 3 skinks with a fireball. Even if you, like... If you hit 2 of them, at least, then you're very happy.
Yeah, but I think you'd be happier if you wait out another turn or two, because Nelphine likely cannot score until turn 8. He'd be suicidal to do so. So he has to worry about the wizard for 5 more turns. So your positioning's different, your mindset's different.
I mean, this is where I would slightly disagree. What's scarier to you?
I hope he does it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets the 2 skinks in front. Yeah,
that's huge.
One is KO'd, one is badly hurt, but we still have the ball.
That's gigantic, honestly.
Well, we'll see what Stim can do. He
reroll
2 dies the ball. It badly hurts him.
Oh my god.
See, this is why I wanted to follow with that diving tackle last turn, because it was too easy for that guy to get away from these Sorai. And there is 1 skink left on the field, albeit he is agility 4, sidestep minus AV.
This is a dangerous position for Nelphine. He's got 1 skink left, and that skink
is minus AV. This is the weakness of lizards. Yeah, but Nelphine, you kind of like left that play open.
I mean, that's the play I like instinctively saw, which is bad, but probably like in the grand. I mean,
if it works, it swings the game. And last turn, it was just unfortunate that Nelphine couldn't, push Deshaun once and then Frenzy surf him off the field. Because that was the only player nearby who could have done anything about the fireball follow-up. So, I mean, Nelphine's still likely fine.
This is a very smart play by Stim. Putting that Micah Kisser there, I really like that he's gonna foul?
That makes less sense.
That is very surprising, is the term I would use.
A little surprising we're not going for a pass here. Oh, we're only movement 3. Duh.
I mean...
If he had full movement 6, I mean, that was a pass action like guaranteed. Like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, GFI, GFI, throw, win game, done. Okay, well. Now, as we're Nelfine, we've got 1 skink, 6 Sorai.
See, I think this is...
No. Oh, he just
Quads.
quad-skulled and KO'd the Sorai. Oh, my God.
I have to laugh. I have to laugh.
Oh, no.
Playoffs, Nelfine!
I mean, it's not over. Stim could also quad-skull or snake the
It
pickup.
is so over.
I mean, it is likely over.
It's so over.
Oh, man.
Stop the count! Stop the count! The Democrats are cheating again.
Oh, no. Stim coming in with the steel chair. Nelfine coming in with the... I don't even know what
this
metaphor
is
to
absolutely a case of because it failed. What I was gonna say sounds like hindsight 2020, but I hated the fact that he blitzed that guy because I just felt that Stim wanted him to blitz that guy because all in all,
he was on the ball, right?
He wasn't. He was on the skink. Skink's 2-up dodge with dodge to go away from him.
But would you rather?
He was not in base contact.
What's more likely, the snake on the dodge, or the snake on the pickup, or the quad skull on the blitz?
So quad skull is half as likely. However, I wouldn't base my analysis around the fact that he did quad skull. I think that's just wrong. I would have blitzed the catcher, high off catcher, in that position instead.
Well, now Asante Samuel,
you have to apple that. You have to apple that.
And he does. Okay, I was gonna say that's the last skink, and now Deshaun, who has been the target of many blocks and blitzes this game, is running downfield with the ball, is shielded off by 3 elves, and this game
now you foul before you move. Come on, Stim. Come on, Stim. His Appo's down.
Yeah.
And you have a bribe.
And you have a bribe.
Snakes never happen, by the way.
Except, new quad skull.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I did not love the sideline cage. I did not love having a skink screen around the ball. As painful as it is to not max block and try to put your muscle on the elves everywhere, you already had a slight advantage early in this half. I think you have to use your Sorai very defensively and just build a mega bunker around the ball and slow play the half.
This, I feel bad saying this, but I was like, oh, Stim should do that, and then he does that and gets lucky and it works, and then I'm like, oh, Nelfine shouldn't do that.
So
and then he quad skulls.
So you're the reason this happened.
I'm basically the jinx of Nelfine, I guess. I would have based the ball with that sword.
I think he's break tackling to do it.
Break tackle's still dice roll.
Yeah, but
and that guy doesn't have stand firm.
He would have had to GFI with the other.
Yeah, but that guy doesn't have stand firm.
I mean, that's fair. But now Stim quad skulls because that's how this game works, right? It's even.
He bases that Saurus and then dodges away, or just dodges away to try to score.
So we're not gonna bait the quad skull.
No.
Okay. I don't know. As much as it pains me to just mega bunker against high elves, I think that's a very good strategy in these situations. And to be fair, it didn't work for me against Crichton this season in CBB. I literally had 99% control of the game, and I had this mega bunker, and on his final turn, he does a bunch of elf shenanigans and almost steals the game from me. So it doesn't work 100% of the time either.
If you get a foul, I would strongly consider just moving up and fouling the Yeah, let's go, Stim.
I don't think we need to foul the skink, but we also don't need to not foul the skink, I guess.
We absolutely need to foul the skink.
Okay.
I mean, Stim has 1 skink in reserves, and that's his AG4 guy. right?
Yeah, this game is 100% over. And we're getting our foul on the last skink. Oh, we're going for the Saurus? Well, it worked. So, I mean, I don't...
Okay.
Why? I know he had break tackle, right? But there's no way he gets the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1,
He
2.
bases the ball.
So the best you could do is mark the ball, but that's it. So at this point, it seems likely that Stem advances to the NFC Championship game to face Grue and the Apes. So the classic Grue Stem matchup, the two NFC coaches with the most Super Bowls besides Rel's in the AFC now. So basically the two best coaches. Maybe not the two best rosters, but certainly two gents who have earned their spot. And, of course, the thing is, if you watch both these games, it seems like Grue should have lost the divisional game. Nelphine snaking there to mark the ball, so this game's over.
The stun does actually matter in the saddest way possible.
Wait, what does?
The snake matters. The stun, sorry.
The stun. Technically.
It doesn't really, but,
Yeah, the game's over either way. And then Stem looking like he was not in a ideal position early in the second half, and then just turns it around in one Astaflix described play.
I mean, I will say this. The quad skull really sucks for Nelphine. I've lost games to quad skulls often. I've also, won games on quad skulls.
Yeah?
Slightly less often, I feel like, but that's confirmation bias.
No, that's not a thing.
The dice are always against me and never with me.
Yeah, don't listen to those doctors. They're all quacks.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to put an analogy on it, it feels like getting a COVID vaccine but contracting COVID because of it. Like, come on, really?
Weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a tough one for Nelphine. He looked like he was...
So Nelphine's full of shit, but...
he'll look back on this with more clarity.
Yeah.
His defense in the first half looked good early, but he got outflanked by literally the only elf who could do anything with the ball. Second half, didn't love his alignment. I would have had more Sorai back. Like his late first turn offense I didn't love either, but Nelphine does get a playoff win. So perhaps the
curse is broken.
Perhaps the moniker of playoff Nelphine is a little lessened.
That reminds me. I made the main draw of like 6 different majors and never went past the first round of the main draw.
Damn.
Until I won mine, but that's basically what Delphine feels like right now.
It's true. There's been many cases of teams throughout the years in different sports where they just couldn't win the playoffs for various reasons, and then all of a sudden they break through and win the whole thing. Like last year,
the Patriots, right?
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say the Milwaukee Bucks, but that's also
I don't watch baseball.
Close.
I don't watch soccer.
Further away, I think.
Okay.
Keep going.
Bowling? No. Bowling's an individual sport. Basketball.
There you go.
I'm the best.
Yeah.
Baseball. I'm the most basketball person.
Yeah, baseball's not a sport either, but that's another discussion for a different day.
Oh, stop.
So yeah, this will be a tough one for Nelphine, but he did get a playoff win under his belt. Team is still 100% in good shape with the Sorai, the Croxagore. I want to say we cut Budacris at this point because we have another Agility 4 skink. We probably cut the minus AV Agility skink and we just trade up in the draft for some sort of Agility skink and then lower our TV and we get back to work.
Budacris is my baby. I raised him since he was young, so I'm against cutting him.
That is your old player, isn't it, from Detroit? Or just Detroit or whatever. What was your name back in the day?
Destroylet, or no, that's another guy.
That's Dash's team.
I mean, it was the Detroit Destitutes, yeah.
That's right. Do you ever regret that decision, going from a pretty decent Chaos Dwarf team to switching to a new division with vampires and then everything going to hell?
Yes.
Okay, I was hoping so. But then obviously you don't regret switching to Norse in a different division and then winning the Super Bowl.
Switching to Norse is maybe the top two funniest moment of the league for me because I look back at like the early season predictions and I just laugh.
What
And then
is.
I look at this season, I cry, but it's part of the game.
You literally took a bet with somebody that you couldn't take an all frenzy roster and like make the playoffs.
I missed the playoffs by one game.
I know. I mean, you almost pulled it off, but early on it did not look great.
So a big reason I think why it did not look great is I lost my whole team.
Yeah, I mean that usually hurts.
Yeah, but I do owe a bottle of the finest Canadian booze, which is not fine at all, to Zarek.
Hmm.
Though I did beat him in the head-to-head, so I guess it
That
counts for
feels like it
something.
feels like the bet should be like nullified then or something.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're gonna do a 5+ dodge with the croc score, hit the ball, and we're just gonna bonehead. Okay, well,
Oh, come on, you gotta reroll
you
that.
gotta re-roll that. You re-roll it, you get the blitz, you get the knockdown. Sean dodges away, picks up the ball, throws a long bomb over a high elf catcher into the waiting arms of Torphy. Double GFI after the catch into the end zone for the most unlikely touchdown we've ever seen.
Hey, I scored in overtime in the minor. Wait, did I win the minor?
I don't care if he's not in passing range. I wanted that play to theoretically exist. But
Oh, no, I didn't win the minor. I'm still waiting for a game. Sorry. I was like, why do I not see the scheduled match? And I was looking at my R team, not my C team. I was
weird.
like,
All right, well,
yeah.
that'll do it for us. Los Angeles Glams advanced to the NFC Championship game. Nelfine and the Flechettes going home earlier than they perhaps wanted, but later than a lot of people would have predicted. So, oh well.
One round later, exactly.
Yeah, but that's much improved over normal.
The I'll say much respect to Nelfine for, playing the game and managing a decent showing, I'd say. Like it was a decent showing.
Yeah, I mean he has
Uh,
opportunities for sure.
yeah, he's a young up and comer, he'll what's the term? It's like a plucky something something.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, so he's gonna,
He'll be
he's
back.
gonna pull it off one day.
Yeah, he'll be back. Just keep trying.
Exactly.
All right, that's gonna be it for us. We will not be covering the two games tonight because I have work. So,
See, it's the opposite for me. The only reason I could be here is because I'm off of work because of COVID.
oh, unfortunate. How about you broadcast the games tonight then? You or Baz?
Yeah, so totally, dude. Rock on.
It sounds like you're not gonna do that.
Sounds like I don't know if I have work tomorrow, so I need to,
That's fair. All right. Take care,
Yeah.
everybody. We'll catch you sometime, I guess.
And that is the stream.